Okay, actually, we just had a little issue there, guys. I'm going to try to get us back on with Scourge. And I think for this one, I'm just going to allow Muso to communicate with me via phone in case anything goes wrong. Because alt-tabbing out of the game is causing me a little crash issue. So we're just going to have to stay in the game. First, I want to make sure you guys are seeing it. There we go. And now I shall jump in. Okay, guys. Here we go. So, jumping into single player, once again, the Waterloo battles. And actually, maybe we'll try to take a different one. Not sure I want to take cavalry. Now, this is interesting. So here we just have to hold the woods south of Hougemont. Okay, fair enough. Let's go for it. So I know this is the sort of the first part of the Waterloo attack, where the French army is approaching, of course, the actual town itself. But Hougemont is a fortress in between, and this is an area where, back in the days of course, gunpowder, etc., having a fortified location was very, very hard to break through. In this case, we are going to have some assistance here from some Jaeger units, I believe, in order to hold the woods. Fair enough. And these orders are coming from Major General Cook. We've basically got a group of skirmishers. That's the situation we find ourselves in. So we're going to have to move these guys little by little. I'm not just going to assign them right away until I see some enemy movement. And I think this could be the moment to move up. Go, boys. Now, despite these guys being few in number, they can do a pretty good job at shooting the enemy. And actually, I see some enemy skirmishers getting in over there. I want to see if we can check them out. We'll also turn around and make sure that we don't have other forces. So these are the forces behind us. We don't control them. We do, however, control this particular Grenadier division in the Hougemont fortress and the guys holding the wall here. So that's certainly something that we need to keep in mind. We also have these guys under our command, and I think I'm going to move them forward over here to assist on this left flank. But we'll see what happens. So already we're spotting some enemy skirmishers. Come on. We're probably going to have to start opening up very, very soon. Come on, boys. If you take a look at the French here, the French have a large amount of men. We've already spotted some of them. I think we can go ahead and hold and start firing. And even at this distance, you can see we're going to get some hits. That's the great part about having some skirmishers here. These are Jaegers. There we go. The gunfire has begun. Hold fire, or hold your position, rather. So these are from Orange Nassau. Once again, I believe these are the Dutch detachments that are actually part of the British Army at the time period. It's not to say the Netherlands was under control by the British. They just happen to have some Dutch units. And for the history buffs here, you can probably let us know why that was. I do believe that one of the monarchs, or maybe the husband of the monarch, or I should say the wife of the monarch, had Dutch ancestry. As you can see, we've got a huge group of enemies there on the left, but they're not really making a push, so I'm going to move these guys here. Why not? We might as well try to get as much firepower on the enemy as possible. And again, if we lose this location, we just have to pull back to the chateau. So right now we're getting some great shots, and we're not taking much damage. They're actually trying to hit us with artillery as well, but it doesn't seem to be working. Oh, wait. I just said it doesn't seem to be working, and the guy gets hit with an artillery shell point blank. Yeah, that's not great. Making sure my men are in a decent formation here. And actually, I could get these guys to run up. Definitely got some canister shot coming in, and that's concerning. It's coming from that artillery position, and I'm trying to stay out of it. I think the closer we are to these trees, the better sort of defensive power we're going to have. So once again, I'm going to move up some more skirmishers. Look at the movements there of the French army. Really, we just need to worry about taking out their skirmisher divisions. That's the main goal here. Come on, men. We do have a defensive terrain bonus, which is awesome. And that's why we want to remain here in the woods. I'm almost tempted to bring some guys up from the chateau, but I know better than that. These guys have to defend this area. We're almost certainly going to have to defend it anyway. So that's what we're going to do. Just trying to stay away from the enemy artillery. Alright, are these men getting shots as well? These are the Light Battalion Lundberg. Oh my goodness, they're right in front of us, guys. They're right in front of us. Come on, boys. Good enough fire. Come on, men. We're going to order fallback when engaged. They're really trying to hold on. And there we go. They're going to fall back. I'll take these guys, put them over here, and continue firing. Really just trying to damage that unit as much as I can, so that even when they reach the chateau, they're going to be badly, badly hurt. I think that's good enough. Hold on as long as possible, boys. That is definitely a charge. Keep firing, boys. Don't let it up. We want to make sure that the enemy's not pulling on this, or pushing on this right side. Of course they are. We've got some British units here, but I don't believe we control these guys. Wait a minute. Oh, we do. We just got a flanking force, boys. We could have used these earlier, but I think they'll do just fine now. And these are going to be the 1st Regiment Foot Guards. This is actually our first authentic British unit here. I like this. So we're going to be able to hold them off even more. I like this a lot. And basically the whole point of this battle is just to hold the enemy off as long as possible. Keep them away from the chateau until reinforcements arrive, and we should be fine and dandy. Alright, this is perfect. Good enough, boys. I really want them to get that defensive bonus, though. I think they already have it. I'm going to pause. You guys better start opening fire. Same with these guys here. And as you can see, at this distance, since these guys are the best shooters in our regiment, they do just fine. I'm actually going to have one of them do volley fire. So I'm going to order them all to fire at once to try to take out a big chunk of the enemy forces. Keep it up, boys. Man, they've got a lot of men, but it's not going to stop me. In fact, I want to wheel a little bit to the left. I think we'll get a more effective shot from here. There we go. So look at that. Just with a volley shot there, we managed to take out 3 or 4 men. And of course, this generally represents more than just 3 or 4. We're probably talking 6 or 7. We can actually get the exact kills that we've gotten for each unit. So let's take a look here. We're going to take a look at our British units. It looks like they've killed 4 enemies. None have been lost on our side. However, these guys have lost 20 and only killed 2 enemies. So yeah, I think we need to move them into an even more wooded area. I'll try to actually have them run there. But now, of course, the French are going to start focusing on us. Now let's focus on the center of the battle. And I would recommend, this is something I don't do a lot in my Let's Plays, I would recommend pausing quite a bit during this game. Because things are happening so quickly that you really need to be readjusting your units almost constantly. And so far, we've done a great job against the enemy there. We've got a nice big unit here. But I think we want to focus on... Actually, no, we'll keep focusing on this guy right here. But I think they're getting a better defensive bonus than that unit, which is not good. Get behind the lines, General. This is the Coldstream Regiment of Foot Guards. Man, look at those guys just They're not giving up. I'm loving the way that they're fighting. They've already lost a lot of men. They've only killed about 8 of the enemy. And honestly, if I could restart this battle, what I probably would have done is I would have gotten on the rim of the forest here. The problem is we still would get that nasty artillery fire, but I think we would perform a lot better in terms of kill counts on the enemy. So it's almost certain that they're going to take that location. It's now up for grabs. Let me actually wheel these guys to the left a bit. Wheel them a little more to the left. So I think we're going to be, stuck defending the chateau here. We still have a few British units. Are they still fighting? I certainly hope so. And if you guys can, somebody type something in the chat if you can. I'm trying to see if I can get this to work on my phone so that I can read your comments. If not, I'm probably just going to have to end up getting a second screen here, which I'm not even sure what the price of a screen is these days. But it's definitely something I want to do. All right, here we go. Come on, boys. What are they doing? Okay, at least one unit is firing. I don't know what these guys are doing. It's a little strange. Take direct control here. Ooh, weird. These guys are locked up. There we go. But see, to take them out, we're going to have to take them out of this wooded area. So I'm going to try to get them here. They just were not responding. They should have been seeing us, but they weren't. Okay, I think I can start seeing some of your chat. Awesome, guys. Yeah, I have it here on my phone. It's just hilarious because I'm watching Scourge of War via my phone. It's kind of strange, and playing it at the same time. All right, here we go. So we've killed a lot of enemies in that battalion, but still these guys were not firing. I'm not sure what's going on. There we go. So I guess just being in volley mode confused them a bit. We'll just keep them on, fire at will. As far as I'm concerned, that's good enough. Hey, Alien Gold, how you doing, bud? Pixel, I'll do my best. I wish we had some grape shot, actually, because then we could definitely do some serious damage. But we're holding them up enough. If we're keeping them back this long, that's definitely a good thing. The problem is we've already basically lost that area right there. So we have to hold the chateau, which I think is worth a lot more anyway. Could be mistaken. All right, how are these boys doing? I love the position these guys have. So they're, of course, here in this wooded area. And keep in mind, guys, not just Scourge of War Waterloo, but also Scourge of War Gettysburg, and the Scourge of War Gettysburg Anniversary Edition, probably one of my favorite games on the entire catalog, also has the same defensive rules. And the one in Gettysburg that's used a lot is essentially fences. So fences become very good defensive barriers. And it leads to a really beautiful battle because you've really got, a lot of those casualties, up against that fence area. Of course, that's where a lot of men would take cover. People think, for instance, in the American Civil War that it was just consistently, lines, etc. And yeah, that was most of what people were doing. But if you had a fence to give you some cover, you're definitely going to line up behind that and use it. In this case, of course, in Napoleon Scourge of War Waterloo, I always make that mistake. I would say that the most important thing is actually tree coverage, building coverage, and these bushes. These bushes give you, as you can see here, we can just check it out, that defensive terrain bonus. It's not so much about fences. There are a few moments in Scourge of War Waterloo where you do have to use the fences, but it's pretty rare, to be honest with you. It's really more about situations like this, which are also great. So I'm going to get this general and move him back. In fact, he's just a lieutenant colonel from the Coldstream Regiment, but he's important enough for us not to want him to get killed. I love the frogs comment. So right now, we're actually moving these guys a bit out of position. I think I want them to stay here. I didn't want to move the entire group. So we'll get these guys to stay here, and we'll get these guys to stay here as well. But now we've got to turn them in the proper direction. And that can take a little while to get unstuck. Just a bit. I'm going to jump over here to our British units. They're getting a great amount of volley fire off here on the enemy. You just see that gunpowder. And once again, this positioning system with the defensive terrain is helping us a lot. Now that the other British unit is arriving, the other French unit is arriving, I'm a little uncertain as to whether we can hold this position. But look at the damage we've done here. I mean, just with a group of skirmishers, yeah, we've definitely put a hurting on the French. There's no doubt about that. Another one down. Nice. Welcome back, Muso. Guys, another bit of good news here is we are going to be doing the streams regularly once again. You know, we just had to have that Christmas break. I hope you guys had a wonderful holiday break as well, and obviously a wonderful new year. Don't worry, we're definitely doing streams again, so it's going to be a regular thing once again. And we're really glad that you guys were here for the return of the Slytherin stream. Oh yeah, look at that, man. These guys are great. 39 kills, 27 lost. I mean, those are good odds. Very good odds. Actually, now I want them to volley fire. Reload, boys. Oh, that was a volley fire over there from that French unit off to our right. We'll just have them fire at will. Good shooting, boys. I might want to fall back at this point. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I mean, I'm not going to fall back, but I'm basically setting this position up so that we're going to fall back slowly while firing a volley each time. Wow, are we already in a gunfight, a gun battle here with the enemy? It looks like we are. It's actually an enemy skirmisher unit. Keep it up, boys. I love this view. This is pretty cool, huh, guys? So you can actually see the enemies down range there. That's just a beautiful sight. Although, if I were part of this detachment, I would be absolutely terrified. Wow, so just so many French attacking. Although once again, they're trying to take a fortified position, so I think it's gonna add a layer of difficulty here. These guys aren't doing us any favors. Let's get these guys up as well. We want to put them maybe right there in the center. A host is approaching. Serious host too. I hate those skirmishers, man. Get some volley fire down on the skirmishers. Come on, boys. Let him have it. There we go. We may not have even killed a single skirmisher there. They're a lot harder to hit than regular infantry, of course. And look at this horde approaching. And believe me, on the scale of Scourge of War Waterloo, this is a tiny group of men. But we know better. So we do have our allied artillery way up there in the back, providing some cover fire for us. And I hope they can get a lot of good hits here on the French. And obviously, look at the French. They have to look up at that chateau. Pretty imposing chateau, and they're being shot at here by all of these units. It's absolutely beautiful. Got to be getting some hits, too. Wonder if Dogs of War is with us for this stream. He's one guy on the forums and here on the stream that knows a lot about Scourge of War in general. So here, I think this is a better position for our men. Something like that. few men outside of the wall, a few men up on top, and they're getting some great shots. What more can you ask for? Especially since that's the main French force right in front of us. Look at that. Beautiful volley. I just want to see the handiwork of our men at this point. Can they stop the French? In fact, if you guys want, we can start a bet right now, if Musso wants to put it up, to see can we stop the French, yes or no. Not even win the battle, just stop them from reaching the chateau. That's the bet. There's some volley fire here. Get a nice shot. Oh, they're pretty confident. Come on, boys. There we go. Give them hell. Keep it up, boys. So they're using volley fire, which means they're waiting for all of their guys to reload. We can see the chateau is on fire. And actually, without a commander, it's currently not being held by anybody. So we do want to get some guys in the chateau. We might have to retreat into the chateau, as a matter of fact. That's probably what I'm going to do. Keep a few units here, but besides that, let's get into the chateau itself. Yeah, this is a tough one. We're going to have to take direct AI control. These guys seem a little stuck up on the wall there. As for these guys, I will actually keep them here. Alright, there we go. We're getting some men into the chateau, but we need more than this to call it our own. So we're going to have to keep on sending men in. Jeb Stewart says, barricade the doors, lads. Exactly. Yeah, that's pretty much what we have to do now. So we are holding the position right now, but we're basically fighting from the chateau here. I'm going to actually try to get these guys here with just a run order, and I will take command from the AI. So in this game, when you make a movement, 90% of the time, the unit is going to follow everything you tell it to do, but basically 10% of the time it's going to take its own initiative and say that's not a good idea, and most of the time it's right. Most of the time the AI is totally right. But in the case like this where, you know, we have to make this desperate run across the field to get into the chateau, you click this button right here, which allows you to take 100% control over the unit, and it will do anything you ask it to do. Unless, of course, it's suffering from a morale loss, in which case it probably won't do a charge, but just about anything else it will. So our guys are already getting shots, and of course the enemy is stuck trying to take this area. I hate that they've got skirmishers on the case here, but let's hope that they send their main force a little bit closer, and we get some beautiful shots. Oh, are they turning away? Really? Okay. Easiest victory ever. Hey, Dave, how you doing, man? $50 viewers, man. We always get, Musso, it's hilarious how, I mean, this is an older game, but we always get so many viewers for Scourge of War, Waterloo. And, I mean, I love playing it, so I don't mind one bit, but I love that there's still a huge group of you guys that really care about this game. And I could say I'm one of them. It's just a great game. Visually, you know, I could easily play this game for hours and hours. Fire away, men, come on. You can see all of the united flags here. Oh, absolutely, Dave. Absolutely beats the Total War series. And just in terms of scale alone, this game crushes Total War. I mean, it's especially when you do the entire Battle of Waterloo. Wow, it's scary to say the least. So as you can see, we've got a bunch of detachments in here, guys. We're showing the fort damage and the fort capacity. We could take any of these units out whenever we feel like it by clicking, but right now I don't want to do that. I want to remain in the fort and try to hold the enemy off. Let's actually go over to their side. We can see they've already lost a few men here, but our men seem to be focused mainly on their skirmishers, which is fine with me. Their skirmishers are doing a lot of damage. A lot of French down in this area, as well as some of our men, of course. The first unit of Jägers. You will be missed, men. Oh, what's this? Did this just pop up? It's the Grenadier Regiment's flag. Very cool. Talaveri, Lincels, Barossa. Gotta love the assortment of flags. So now we're firing over here, it seems. Take a look here, see how the enemy's handling the situation. All in for win. Wow, a lot of you guys are got a lot of confidence that we can hold the fort here. Now, I'm not sure how many more minutes we have to hold it for, but I'm going to trust your judgment, guys. We are also getting that artillery support, so the enemy is taking some pretty nasty hits, but they seem to be holding on. Defend it with your lives, men. So they're trying to get close, but as you can see, even if you take control from AI, you can't get close enough to a fort to storm it. You need to actually get the enemy to basically leave it by, well, overwhelming firepower, artillery, things like that. If not, you can't storm the fort. It's very rare to get a unit willing to actually charge a fort. Too bad we can't gain control of the rest of our units. Although we're getting some nice shots downwind here. See a bunch of the French on the ground. Keep it up, boys. Jet Stewart says no prisoners, and I don't think they're going to take any prisoners either. So the feeling is mutual for the French. I think if we lose here and they take the fort, they're not going to let anybody escape alive. There's no way. So yeah, we have to. We can't take prisoners. We just need them to leave. They either retreat or we hopefully destroy them. And again, another good reason for keeping them out of the fort for this amount of time is this gives our artillery a chance to get a few shots off on these units, which is absolutely going to help. See, we already took 2 guys down there, but we need to hit them even more. They're getting a defensive bonus from the bushes there, and that's not going to help us. See, a lot of the fort is on fire. They're definitely heavily damaging it. Now it's just a matter of time. Hey, Hey, Kendra, I would love to stream it. I don't know when it's going to be released. That's probably a question that's better fit for Muso here. If he can answer it, then yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, wait a minute. We've got some more of our... No, these are not under our direct control, but this is pretty cool, guys. Our allies have come to help us. So as you can see, we're not controlling these men here, the Coldstream Battalion, but they're assisting us. So we've got an ally unit now helping to repel the attackers. If we can get more allies to come and help, this is going to be a definite win. Like these guys. Please come over here. Come on, guys. The Yorkshire West Riding Regiment. And those shots you see coming from there are, of course, shots coming from the fort. But now that we've got the British helping us as well, well, another British division, of course, this is really, really cool. And it's actually a split battalion. So this is a skirmisher brigade, which I absolutely love. Going to do some pretty serious damage to the French. Keep it up, boys. Let him have it. Ooh, hello. Yes. Wow, we might actually win, guys. We just got some reinforcements here. British reinforcements. Oh, that's very cool. The British Guards Infantry. But I'm more interested in what our skirmishers are doing here. These guys are doing a great job. Who said we didn't have allies? Beautiful. Now we really do have a chance to win. I hope nobody voted for lose, because remember, I didn't say win the battle. I said hold the chateau. If we hold the chateau, we win. Well, those people win anyway. Let's see who voted for lose, and it's very hard to see on my tiny little phone here. PUM thinks I'll hold it as well, so now he's betting a little late. Although I like the sneaky approach there, because, yeah, the battle is getting definitely down to the last few minutes, I think. And if we hold this area, which we're holding it right now, then those guys that voted yes, you're going to win. That's that simple. I think the only way the French could win at this point is for the battle to continue a bit too long, or for them just to miraculously get some sort of charge, and that's not going to happen. Especially not with our skirmishers arriving here. They're going to be getting some serious shots on the enemy here. Look at that. You can already see the French piling up here. They really are piling up. Now, it is a major defeat, but we did get to hold the chateau. So, you guys that voted we would hold it, you guys won. It's that simple. I will take a look at the statistics here. I'm curious myself. And casualties, 422. Enemy casualties, 732. So we also absolutely managed to score some massive kills on the enemy, as opposed to getting smashed, you know, and defeated. Now, if we wanted to, another great part of Scourge of War Waterloo, we could actually keep playing in this battle and see how long we hold out for. We're not going to do that, but it just gives you an idea of the possibilities. So congrats to those who said we'd hold the chateau. We didn't hold the initial point, but we did hold the chateau. Pretty cool. I want to see who won here. It takes a lot more. I'm not going to say it because I don't think I'm not sure I should say it on the stream, but that's pretty funny. Oh, Scourge of War China would be so cool. Although it would have to be like, you know, an appropriate conflict in China. It couldn't be the warlord period. It could be the more recent warlord period of like 1870, 1880, all the way up to 1920. You know, that would be amazing. But I think to recreate Chinese wars would be just, you'd need so many sprites. It would be ridiculous. For some battles, it would just be men all the way around. I'm not sure how that could be done. Okay, so we'll end the battle there. And yes, I'm still considering that a victory. We held the chateau. That's what mattered. We got the reinforcements. I mean, technically, you know, if this was the actual battle, I think our commander would be pretty happy. He wouldn't care much about the woodland in front. He'd be like, hey, you held the chateau. Good job. Well done. Yes, you can. You can give the victory to those who voted yes. I want to see who voted no. See, we're writing lists about those who voted no. We're gonna remember your names. All right, let's go for another one, guys. Another Waterloo battle. I'll try to get some actual grenadiers here. Okay, so this sabers versus bayonets is actually a cavalry battle. Alright, so we're just going to play with the 1st Guard Brigades. So basically our main goal here is to hold the enemy back, repulse them, and we win. Pretty simple. We have to do the previous carryover. Alright, fair enough. Another thing we could do here is we could jump into Quatre Bras. Yes, that's right. I need to reinstall the DLCs, guys. Sorry, I had to do a full computer reboot, so we've got just the base game right now. Let's take a look here. This one looks quite good. But again, I'm not a fan, honestly, of cavalry. It's just the way I am. The Netherlands Infantry Division. This will be an interesting fight here. We're not playing with Highlanders, but we are playing with some very well-known divisions here. Especially guys like the Coldstream Guards. They are very important. As is tradition. You didn't know reinforcements were in the picture? Yeah, I would have called it too, man. I think you made the right call. I didn't know reinforcements were coming that quickly, so when they showed up, that's when I was like, oh, we're definitely going to win. By the way, look at this massive group of men. Now, this is a battle. So I think we're primarily in charge of the artillery here. And we definitely want to get them up and start repelling the French. So I'm going to go ahead and try to get behind our men on this end. And the French are already basically in a square formation here to keep, presumably to keep our cavalry divisions away. But our men have already started peppering them with some serious musketry here. Keep it up, boys. Gotta say, the way they're holding that flag, though, and this is a serious division. This might be one of the Imperial Guard divisions. I think it is. Let's see if we can get a view here. It's the Prince of Moskova division. Prince of Moskova? What? Well, that's awesome. Look how many battles they've participated in. Nearly every single one. And that looks like a proper flag. A really nice flag. We're absolutely annihilating them right now. The Grenadiers à Pied de la Garde. So these are the Grenadiers, yes. Let's see how our men are doing. Our cavalry, I should say. We've also got control of these units. So basically, this is an example, guys, of being in control of the entire battlefield, more or less. We're going to go ahead and start moving these guys forward as well. We've got to get up close and personal. Oh, never mind. No, we're not in control. That did worry me a bit. I was like, I don't want to have to move all of these units. Just making sure we don't control any cavalry units here. Okay, good. So it's literally just the artillery for this battle. And we're getting really close to the enemy. Come on, men. Faster, faster. Okay, it looks like they have to set up already. Pretty good decision. That's a bit too far back. I think that's at least safe. Let's do it. Should be able to unlimber here. It's weird. Yeah, they're already unlimbering this one. Beautiful. Come on, we need that artillery power now. And remember, Napoleon was initially an artillery commander, so that's how he started on his road to glory. Was really trying to just, master the art of artillery here. So hopefully being this close to the enemy, we can get some really nice shots. But we need to start shooting soon. Here's some grenadiers. Hello, boys. How are ye? So they're going to help defend our arty. Nice. And we're already getting some nice shots there. Keep it up, boys. Give them hell. At this distance, we're definitely firing canister. Come on, boys. Fire at will. Yeah, absolutely agree with what Pixel said, that the spectacle the game creates with all the sprites, it is nice. One of my favorite parts is probably the bodies. I know that sounds morbid, but being able to see the bodies on the field really gives you an idea of just the scale of this kind of warfare, and just how horrific it must have been. I mean, war in general is obviously not good, but you know, the Napoleonic era, you could probably imagine just the colors on the battlefield really after a battle would be something that you probably wouldn't see in other wars. Because of the many different uniforms and the battles in close proximity, it's really a beautiful sight. I'm taking a look over here because these guys look absolutely awesome. And this is it looks like the Herzoglich Braunschweigers Corps. Definitely a Prussian corps here, and they're doing an amazing job. These guys are just kind of hanging out. That's fine. Let's take a look. Wow, guys, look at that. We'll take a look at the French up ahead here. They're dropping like flies. Look at them. It's like we have a machine gun. Unbelievable. Oh, they're going to have to run. There's one group of French. No, they're actually getting into formation. Come on, men. That is just such a cool sight. It's hard for me to turn away. Look at the amount of French that are downed by this massive volley. And you can kind of tell, I mean, it makes sense. If you look up ahead here, look at that. That's what they're facing. Unbelievable. Wow. Okay, I actually feel bad for the French in this battle. That's not good. Wow, look at that. Let's take a look at our arty. Now, this is part of the full battle, of course. This is just an example of the kind of scale you can get in the game. We are going to move forward here. It looks like we're commanding these Prussians. Or actually, these Dutch, the Nederlands Brigade. I love how the Dutch and the German states, well, the Dutch obviously have their own flag, but it seems that a lot of the Dutch divisions sort of employ their own divisional flag. And for the German states that are, some of them do fight for the Dutch. I don't know how that works, how the command structure works there. But, you know, they actually have their own sort of country flags. I think Braunschweig is one of them. Of course, Nassau is another. So we'll move forward here. And we'll start assisting our British friends. I really wanted to give them some time to carve the enemy up, but now we can move into position. We also don't want to double up. The reason being, if we double up with our units, we'll actually get a negative penalty. Might go for a charge. Take command. Are you telling me you guys cannot see the enemy from here? Come on, you're a Jaeger brigade. Apparently our Jaeger Brigade needs glasses. That is not good. There we go, finally. I think we'll get a little bit closer. That's about... that's pretty good. Go ahead and turn to the right, turn to the right. Give them hell, boys. Again, I don't want to commit too many of my forces. We're essentially here to hold the line. So if our allies are currently holding the line, I'm probably not going to be bringing a lot of forces here to the front. Keep them back as a reserve unit. There doesn't seem much left of the enemy to shoot at. Yes, this square has been totally destroyed. You're absolutely right. Completely destroyed. I think they're going to retreat pretty soon. But again, that's one of the best French units there, so I can see why they don't want to. Well, let's see. Can we charge these guys? Oh, yeah, we can. Attack! Oh, they're running. Look at all of those units down. And, of course, this is from the Grenadier Division. So these guys are highly regarded by Napoleon. He loves his Grenadier Divisions. And right there, we show them that those Grenadier Divisions are not invincible in the slightest. Just completely crush them. Our artillery is doing a fine job here, but I think we probably want to start actually heading over here to try to flank the enemy from this location. So let me take these guys. Yeah, baby. So we're going to actually be flanking the French if we can get behind them. But if we just go over here to the battlefield, we can see they've taken some serious casualties. Oh! Thank you, Shell Shot. Now that was Shell Shot for sure. And once again, crushing these Grenadier divisions. Not too bad we don't control the British there, because they do have to turn to the right. It's going to take a while for our men to get there, but as you can see, they're already moving. It's a shame we don't have control over a few more guys. Pretty cool. What about this guy? Ah, we do. Let's grab him and move him over here. Not sure why the rest of the men aren't following. Absolutely true, Pixel. From what I understand as well, Grenadiers were generally chosen for their height, their stature, and their weight. You know, basically, you had to be a kind of a big guy to be a Grenadier. So I would imagine, especially during the time period, that, you know, seeing a group of, like, tall soldiers, you know, would be intimidating to just about anybody. Especially since I think the average height, even, you know, even as early as 200 years ago, was a bit shorter than the average height today. So kind of gives you something to think about. The Grenadiers were known for being burly guys. You know, they could easily carry their weight in equipment, rifles, etc. And, of course, yes, grenades. Although these are the Napoleonic era grenades, which I really wouldn't trust, personally. You basically light a fuse, throw it, and hope for the best. And, I don't know, I would take a few more safety precautions, to be honest with you. It doesn't seem safe. Forward. We've also got our artillery here, which is also very helpful. And you can see, if you see the little crosshair on the French unit, it lets us know that our artillery is actually targeting that particular unit as well as the one behind it. So we're getting some great shots already, but we can obviously do an even better job here. Yes, throws a fuse, hopes for the best. Ties anyway, exactly. Yeah, it's not something I would recommend if I were in this time period, being a grenadier. I'm guessing the pay would probably be slightly better, and I'm guessing you would probably be slightly more respected, but yeah, I don't trust fuse grenades. That's an accident waiting to happen. Ooh, we could actually shoot that enemy artillery piece there, but I think we've got more important things at risk. As soon as we spot the enemy infantry, I'll start firing. Still got a ways to go, though. Come on, boys. We could have them run, but hint, hint, I kind of want to charge with these guys. I'm trying to have them somewhat rested. Ooh, the French are advancing. That is not a good idea. Look at what they're facing, and look at their advance. I mean, that's just futile. Feel really bad for the French during this battle. We've also got some British units doing a counterattack there, and if you just look, there's a line of French soldiers and French mercenaries that are just dead all the way across that sunken road there. And there we go. I'm already spotting the enemy. Start firing right away. They've got a skirmisher unit here. And I actually want to turn a little bit to the right here. Come on, boys. Nice. Already saw a few fall. It was our first kill for this division, the Netherlands Brigade. Hey, Skyline, how's it going, man? Yeah, exactly, Pixel. So are the shrapnel wounds from continually throwing fuse grenades. It's also, I mean, another thing I consider, and I'm not sure, I'm not an expert in this sort of, these sort of military devices, but, would a fuse really stay lit if you threw it, at a distance, through a windy area? It definitely wouldn't stay lit if you were throwing it, during rain. But I'm wondering, like, on a windy day, I'm guessing that those fuses are probably pretty flammable themselves. Otherwise, it would be, no different than, like, a piece of string. But it just makes me wonder, how many times did these guys throw grenades and absolutely nothing occurred? Probably a lot. Let's move up a bit more. I'm going to get right up there close to the enemy and then charge. Again, I don't expect to win this charge, but it's more just to confuse the enemy even more and get them off the field once and for all. Keep shooting, men. There we go. They're going to run. Yeah, we're not even going to have to charge them. They are completely fleeing the battlefield here. We'll still get a few shots off at the fleeing enemy. You can see most of our shots are missing, though, and that's actually artillery fire as well. Oh, why not? Let's try to shoot. Halt. I don't want them coming back, so at least this will send a message. You better not disobey orders, men. There we go. Nice. Fire away. One down, two down. Get a few more here. And actually, they are regrouping, so it was right of us to keep firing. How dare they? They're actually going to start regrouping. Well, now we're definitely going to keep shooting when they retreat. I'm going to put these guys on volley fire so they get a really nice shot here just at the enemy flank. But they're going to have to fire together in sequence. Oh, look at that. They're actually marching straight towards us. Boom! Oh, did you guys like that? About, I don't know, maybe 8 or 9 right there. We just shot through them. I'm sure some of our musket balls actually passed through a few of these guys and hit the other ones. And actually, I might go for another volley fire there. That worked out really well, especially since they're quite close and they've already run once. I think with a few volley fires, they're going to have to break. This is also our Jaeger battalion, so they're pretty good shooters. You can obviously make skirmish brigades out of these battalions. Oh, they're running away. Sneaky. Let's move forward. Very sneaky. All right, some of them are retreating once again, but I want to get some more shots here at the enemy. We just loaded up another volley, and they just suddenly ran away. They took all the fun out of that possible volley that could have happened there. Thanks a lot, France. That was great. Milstrad Sir gives another possibility there, and I bet that worked too. I mean, especially if the fuses were flammable. I'm looking here on Wikipedia right now. The fuses were definitely flammable, and that's what would keep them lit. So yeah, you could probably throw a grenade, and maybe the fuse, the fuse sort of goes out, but there's still a little ember there. All of a sudden, your men walk over that grenade, and it explodes under them. Yeah, of course, as you said, such is war. Happens all the time. Friendly fire. Even with modern-day grenades, that happens, I'm sure. Although I'm guessing it's a lot less likely, those sort of incidents. There's a lot more fail-safes. You've got to pull the pin. You've got to, let the handle fly off. Then you throw the grenade. I mean, with these old-fashioned grenades, you just light it and hope for the best. Let me just throw this over here and hope it doesn't blow me up. I'd go for latrine cleaner, I really would. I mean, at least they're safe. Or for, not baggage handler, what do they call them? The guys that basically drive the carts around, the quartermasters. I'd do something like that, to stay off the front. Come on, men, let him have it. There's actually a French general getting awfully close here. Fire! Good shot. Missed him by maybe a few centimeters there. And yeah, we definitely did a lot of damage here. But again, for this battle, we're really just looking for the visuals. We're just having fun looking at the visuals. We're not actually following the orders that we're supposed to be following. I'm just trying to make this battlefield look as pretty as possible. Ooh, that was close. There we go. They're gone. Let's take a look over here. I don't see any victory points, any actual visible victory points on the map. Okay, they're regrouping once again. We definitely want to follow them. And keep in mind, guys, we're just playing vanilla right now. We're not even playing with DLC. Obviously, the DLC would add a lot more content, but this just goes to show you, if you just want to pick this game up and try the base game, it's worth it. It's completely worth it. And in fact, the base game really has the main battle of Waterloo, really the big one. Ligny, Quatre Bras, etc. I love them, but in terms of scale, I would say Waterloo is probably the biggest here. Come on, boys, give them hell. Reloading. I don't like that now they're just focusing on our unit. Boom! Good shooting, boys. You can see they're immediately sending replacements there. No, wow, are they gonna run? Wow. So that's how their morale is not great at the moment. But I think this guy will be able to boost it. This is Baron Schmitz. And I always get confused by French units called the Schmitz Brigade, but that's this guy, basically. Really, really good fighter. And regularly, of course, would assist the French in their battles. So actually, I'm going to charge here. I'll let our guys get one more volley shot. And now I'm going for the charge. Go! Bayonets! Yeah, we need everybody to vote on that stream, on the user stream. And even if you're a lurker and you're not somebody that likes to jump into the chat, please do follow the straw poll. Here we go. Oh man, can we get them to run? Forward. Oh, that was the fastest. That was the fastest bit of close combat I've ever seen. So no, they didn't want to fight. And I can understand why. I mean, they've already been beaten up pretty bad, but that was pretty funny. They gave up right there at the last second. They're like, yeah, you know what? Nah, we'll just go ahead and get out of here. Thanks, though. Still want to try to get some shots? No, you guys ran once. No more chances. And they might manage to get away. You can see, even with just elevations like that, like this small hill, how we actually lost visual on them quite a lot. And that's why in Scourge of War, you've got to be very aware of your surroundings, especially the geography, because you can put yourself in a really great or a really terrible situation depending on where you place your men. Now, obviously, being uphill here, firing downhill, that's a bonus. It's a huge boost to us. But the fact that they could have hidden back here for a while is kind of creepy. They could have actually had a reserve force there and done a pretty decent counterattack. Still think we would have won, but, you know, it would have been a possibility at least. Alright, we'll grab all of our men here, and I guess we'll go for a yes. The building here. So that's got to be the main victory point, is going to be the chateau. And I think that was the position, well, similar to the position we just fought at. But of course, this is the French garrison. And now we're going to have to take that out. Forward, men. We have no time for slackers. Thank you, British France. Got some redcoats here, able to assist us. And this is a skirmisher unit, so we should be able to get some pretty decent shots off. Alright, that's good enough, boys. Volley fire. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Thank you. Wow, we can't even see them now. All that gunpowder. That was a great shot. I'm going to go for a volley fire again. Fire. We only got 2 kills there. 3 kills now. And now we put them on fire at will. I believe that unit will retreat very soon. But just look at the battlefield, man. That is creepy. There's so much left. You can see a town off there in the background. Just the visuals are wonderful, and the field post-battle is incredible. Look at that. These guys are without a doubt my favorite. Best dressed. Just love the way they look. And that's the Braunschweig Corps. So a lot of these smaller German city-states, of course, we have to understand that Germany did not exist at the time of this war. What it was a collection of small city-states, principalities, etc. And what they would do is they would actually basically rent their armies out. You know, they would become mercenary forces. And if you think about it, in a situation like that, you know, that would be the perfect way to generate money and income for you and your family. Just join a mercenary corps if you are part of a really small country, and of course bring that money home after you're done fighting. You know, everybody wins except the enemy, or except you if you get killed. But that's something that was quite common. And of course Prussia, that's a different story. They had a significant amount of men. I don't think they really needed to rent out mercenaries, although I wouldn't be surprised if the Prussians also did some, or gave out some mercenaries to other countries. Move up here. Come on, closer. With this unit, I'm going to completely turn to the left. Start engaging the enemy here. Oh, they're finished. And I'm putting volley fire. So actually I want to find a better position here for the men, because once again, if you have two units overlapping, you're actually minimizing their damage by 50%, so very ineffective to do that. Now this is okay. Actually no, they're, as long as they're not touching, it's okay, but they are, so I'm going to have to move this guy a bit farther away. Okay, nice. Now let's turn. Oh, wait a minute. What are they firing at? These guys have gone crazy. Keep it up, men. So at this point, I don't even think we need to do a charge. We just keep firing until they run to the chateau. They're gonna have to seek cover soon. And maybe we do charge. See how long they can hold out before they run in terror. Kill the French! Go, men! Oh, that is a hell of a sight. I actually just saw one guy drop there, so they're still getting some lucky shots there. A few guys dropped there. Come on, boys. Wow. That was sneaky. They held on to the last second and then retreated. And, of course, they're going to go for the safety of the chateau. We definitely better get some shots off. If they're willing to shoot at us and fire at us up to a few seconds before we get there in a charge, I'm definitely firing at them when they run. That's just fair. Go ahead and give them some volley fire as well. Take your time to reload, boys. Ooh, another French group over there. Let them have it. Oh, we're still waiting for some support. Interesting. So they might get away. That's okay. We're gonna have to turn this way and focus on these guys. And again, here all I'm doing is try to order them into their position a little bit faster. Got them on volley fire, so I hope they can get that one massive volley shot off at the enemy here. The Brigade Schmitz. Nice! That's what I'm talking about. Nice, good job, men. Oh, I like Sod's Law then. I'm a Sod's Law kind of guy in that case. I like that. Nice, good work, boys. That was a heck of a battle. Well, guys, we are getting to the point here in the stream where we're going to go ahead and start toning it down. You can see, actually, now we've got some weather effects here. It looks like it's gotten a bit rainy, if I'm not mistaken. And that also could just be the massive amount of gunpowder. But obviously, please do go ahead and vote for what you guys want to see on Friday. We're trying to come back with these streams full time, so make sure to vote there. Try and find the game you want. Let us know what you thought of this stream and essentially what you'd like to see in the future. We're a little rusty because we've been gone 2 weeks, but we're totally ready to get back in the groove and obviously entertain you guys. I hope we accomplish that today, and I hope that those of you that haven't will go out and purchase Scourge of War Waterloo, as well as the DLC. We'll be taking a look at the DLC next time, although we took a look at the DLC in the last 2 streams we did of this game, so I'm actually happy we got a look here at the base game today. I quite like the base game, and I would recommend that first before you jump into grabbing the DLC. Let's take a look here. Ooh, War in the East is winning by 1 vote. Very nice. Yeah, I did vote for Vietnam only because it's been a while since we've played it. I really enjoy the game, and I think if we go for Vietnam, then we'll probably try and do a particularly difficult campaign. So I'll go into veteran, or I believe there's one above veteran, and try a really tough campaign. Look at that. It looks like some of our units are getting close enough to possibly charge this chateau. So maybe you can charge a chateau. Oh no, that's their units. Shame. Okay, guys, thank you so much for stopping by, and I hope everybody has an awesome new year, and that you guys have chosen some resolutions that you can actually accomplish. We're going to be in a little transitionary period probably at the end of this month. We'll discuss that a little more with you guys later, but there might be about a week or 2 weeks where we don't necessarily, or I don't necessarily do live streams. Maybe we'll put some videos up, but again, that's subject to change, so we'll have to wait and see. But just warning you guys, and thank you again, guys, for stopping by. I would recommend Vietnam, but obviously I love War in the East too, so it doesn't really matter. And if we actually go for War in the East for Friday's stream, me and Muso can test out our sort of idea to give you guys control of some of the armies, so that you can give some pretty basic commands, and we can try to sort of model an army, an attack order after your suggestion, and actually put your name as commander of a certain army group. Thank you, you two guys. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.